has not fulfilled his obligation. Basically, what teaches us the book of Esther, which is in a proper sequential order for do not example. We should not begin with chapter 10 and then go backwards, reverse, to chapter 1. On a practical level, this law can make it quite difficult. To somebody who arrives late, suppose you are a bit under the weather last night, and they have already began to read the Megillah. You know, you have to hear every single word, that you've missed out the beginning, so what must you do? So a person is tempted to continue on. You might think you've saved yourself a bit of time, but in essence, you have to repeat the whole thing from the beginning. So reading backwards on this holiday will not get you far. In the Purim spirit, there's a humorous explanation which can be offered. The Lord is stopping, it's called a Purim prank. We know that Purim is the ultimate joyous celebration of all times, and things tend to go upside down and topsy-turvy in the most best of cases. So the point is that Purim is not a joke. It is a very serious matter, and the current correct role must be followed. So before getting involved with the frolly and silly aspects of the Purim celebrations, we have to follow the mitzvot, the commandments, as it's prescribed. And this is the ultimate joy and reason for the celebration. The Baal Shem Tov, the holy Baal Shem Tov, the founder, offers a deeper spiritual reason to this explanation. He says, if you read the Megillah backwards, that you think the events once took place once upon a time, thousands of years ago, in a distant past, and they're not relevant in today's day and age. You've missed the whole point. The Megillah is much more just than a fascinating story, and the Purim observances are certainly not nostalgia for times of old time's sake. We must personally, every single one of us, relive the Purim message and experience it. That is actually taking place and happening right here and right now. Do not view Purim like ancient history or current events. Times have changed, but the issues remain the same. Purim is here and now. Unfortunately, we have arrogant, progressive, sophisticates who do not personally relate to the Purim story. They dismiss and they look down on the proud and obstinate Mordechai and his feud with Haman as a backward time, primitive, old-fashioned, considering it outdated. The Megillah was written over 2,356 years ago. The Megillah is actually the head of its time. Of course, we now have presidents instead of visors, kings and in parliaments instead of palaces. We have secretaries of state rather than grand visors, and today's capital cities have other names besides Shushan. The modern Haman continue and carry out contemporary names from Ahmadinejad to former Saddam Hussein, and they have the sophisticated agendas. Bin Laden, destruction, mayhem, and to bring the world in destruction. On the other hand, on Purim, every Jewish man, woman, child is a hero. Today's Esther may not wear a crown or live in a palace, but she is presented by inspired, dedicated daughters of the Jewish nation who risk their own safety and integrity to fulfill the mission to save our people. Now, as then, we must realize the mistake of our Jewish pandering brothers for acceptance in the Grand Royal parties which took place, which was the root of all difficulties. Now as then, it is our prayers and return to Torah and that lead up to our ultimate salvation. Don't forget the kids. Mordechai had gathered 22,000 children, studied and prayed. It was the children's Torah that tipped the scales and turned the tables. The Megillah concludes, these days are remembered and reenacted in every generation as explained by the Holy Arizal. When they are remembered, they therefore are actually being reenacted. Happy Purim. Last but not least, I would like to make a conclusion. Mr. Les Erdy is with us today, prominent member of the Melbourne Jewish community. Chabad of Melbourne takes this message of Purim and we practice it throughout the year. Melbourne's inner Jewish community is a home away from home, where people from all walks of life can learn of their Jewish heritage. Numerous social activities, educational, seek help, counselling when in need. Over the past 11 years, Melbourne's CBD, thousands of Jews, non-Jews from places all over the world have experienced the warmth and outreach of Chabad Melbourne, with the public events to celebrating Hanukkah in Fed Square, to the Sukkot, the Festival of the Tabernacle in Melbourne City Square, the Purim luncheon, our regular lectures, our weekly office visits, hospital. Thousands of people have experienced the little light. Our aim is simple. We provide a positive Jewish experience for all those who seek it. And we cultivate a spirit of tolerance in our multicultural community. We appreciate the support of the Victorian government and the City of Melbourne that help us continue our important work. We are proud of our work and accomplishments today and look forward to serving the community with more lectures, adult education, gala luncheons, one-on-one learning at our centre on Little Collins Street. I take this opportunity to thank our sponsors today, patrons, donors, for their outstanding support of Chabad Melbourne. Without them, we would be unable to provide such vital programs and services to the community through enrichment, spiritual guidance, toward building Melbourne for a better tomorrow. It is with great pleasure that I welcome the Honourable James Merlino, Minister of the Premier on Multicultural Affairs, to address us.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. To Rabbi Chambers of Melbourne CBD, to my state parliamentary colleagues, Tony Lupton, my cabinet colleague, and the member for Paran, and Jennifer Hubbard, the new member for Southern Metro, to Councillor Robert Doyle, the Lord Mayor of Melbourne, community leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. May I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we're gathered and pay my respects to elders past and present. It is my great pleasure to be with you this afternoon, representing the Premier on this important occasion. And I thank the Chabad of Melbourne CBD for the invitation to address you on his behalf. It was a wonderful thing for Melbourne when Chabad of Melbourne CBD was established over 10 years ago. Since then, the events and activities of this outstanding organisation have enhanced our vibrant and multicultural city. Always popular occasions, the events held by Chabad of Melbourne CBD are a wonderful opportunity to discuss ideas and meet a broad section of our community. The organisation holds a pivotal role in the heart of our city's business community, and it continues to provide an important link between business leaders, politicians and community organisations and the general public. And on behalf of the Premier, I'd like to commend it for its ongoing work in bringing people together on occasions such as this. I believe that Victoria does lead the way in setting new standards for individuals and communities to relate to each other in a multicultural and multi-faith society. One example of that leadership role is that Melbourne's got the honour of hosting the Parliament of World Religions later on this year. almost 9,000 people